Hello and welcome to Yoga with Vivian. The purpose of this session is to offer post-exercise stretch for any time of the year, whether you're snowshoeing or skiing or swimming, biking or hiking, simply doing some gardening and enjoying the outdoors or indoor activity. It's nice to have 15 minutes at the end to stretch out those nice warm muscles and areas of the body and take full advantage of your exercise. So this is all mat work. We're going to be doing a variety of positions and holding them for breathing of 5 breaths per session and side. So look, we're going to start. I'm on my knees, my hips are on my feet. I'm going to inhale and bring my arms up above my head and exhaling down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. And 2 more. And last one. I'm sweeping my hands behind my back, lifting them up and forward fold, bringing my face down toward my knees. This is a rabbit position with the hands nice and high, and breathing for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. I drop my hands and bring them onto the mat and move into a traditional rabbit where my face is now on my knees. I'm allowing my shoulders to relax into the floor. Hands are on the floor as well, and rounding out the back for 5 and breathing for 4 and breathing for 3 and breathing for 2 and 1. And coming up nice and slow. Again, continuing to keep my hips on my feet. I'm bringing my right arm across the body, putting my hand on that shoulder and hugging that arm in and stretching out the shoulder for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and then switching sides. For 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and down. I'm going to come rolling over onto my hips, moving into staff position. So my feet are up toward the ceiling, my hands are on my hips. Push the hands into the floor, open up the pectoral muscles, chin is up, collarbone is exposed. Bring the abdomen in. My hips are nice and square on the mat. For 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. I'm relaxing my upper body. Bring my left foot up over my right leg and add in that nice twist. So bring the right elbow to the outside of the left leg on the inhale. Lengthen the body and turning over to the left side. Right hand is down onto my hip and a little bit of pressure on the outside of the knee. Gaze is over my left side. I can see the hand. For 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhaling back to center. And I move into a seated forward fold. Opening up the low back, toes to the ceiling for 5 and 4. Try to keep the face up so we don't round the back out. And I'm guilty of that myself. And 3 and 2 and 1. And very, very slowly come up. You can use your hands. Walk them up your leg. And then switching sides. So right leg is now over the left. Nice inhale, and taking my gaze over my right side. My left hand is on my hip here, and I'm putting a little bit of pressure on my knee and stretching that hip out. Body is nice and tall for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Inhaling, back to center, straightening the legs and forward fold. Stretching out that low back, lengthening the hands. They're coming past the feet if you can. Reaching with that body. Lifting the chin up, trying not to round out my back. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And coming up nice and slow. Now moving into a seated pigeon, I'm just going to change my position. So I'm bringing my right foot up onto my thigh. So I'm in seated pigeon this time. And nice roll the shoulders back, nice tall body. Again, I can put some pressure on this knee on the right side to open up the hip. 4, 5, take a nice 3-part breath, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and forward fold. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and coming up nice and straight and moving on to the other side. These are all nice stretches that we're doing on the floor. We're nice and tall for 5. We aren't adding in any cardio, focusing on our previous exercise and maximizing. It also helps to keep our body nice and square. And forward fold down. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and coming up nice and slow. Coming to laying down position on the mat. So my feet are flat, my hands are on the back of my thighs. I'm going to roll in a nice controlled fashion back onto the mat, taking my knees wide of the body, hands are on the back of the thighs, and bringing them in and rocking back and forth. Low back is on the mat and rocking back and forth, relaxing the low back. A nice little back massage. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. And I'm going to come onto my right side. We're going to just check for range of motion through the hip and lengthening the legs. So we start, I'm on my right side, my left foot is flexed, it's up to the ceiling and down, up to the ceiling and down, and just lengthening and stretching out that hip. And 3 more. And 2 more. And last one. And down. I'm coming onto my back. Rolling over onto the other side. And doing the same. Taking it a little bit high. Stretching it out. Foot is flexed. And 3 more. I'm doing a nice little series of 5. And 2 more. And last one. And again, onto my back. Bring the knees into the chest. And rocking back and forth, relaxing the low back, giving yourself a little massage. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. And we're doing a laying down butterfly, also called bound angle. So the feet are together, walking them into the sits bones. Hands are on the inside of our thighs. And you can put a little bit of pressure, opening the knees up, stretching through the groin and the inside of the thighs. Hips are nice and square on the mat. And breathing. Four, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Bring the legs together, lengthening them, moving to fish position. So legs are long, we're coming up onto our elbows. Hands are on the hips, and then taking the head back to the mat, opening up the front of the body. 4, 5. So hips are on the floor, toes are pointed, hands are flat on the mat. And 4, abdomen is in. And 3, and 2, and 1. And coming up nice and slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. As we come up, we move directly into a forward fold. Reaching with those hands, encouraging the nose to the knees, lifting the chin up just a little bit to avoid that rounded back. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And coming up nice and slow, vertebrae by vertebrae. Coming back to cross-legged. Bringing the arms up above the head, inhaling up, exhaling down, inhaling up, exhaling down, inhaling up, exhaling down. The last one, we bring them up, hands stay together, elbows become stationary, and lift the arms straight up. Beautiful posture, hips are square, lengthening the arms as we bring them up above the head. And 3 more. And 2 more. And last one. And sweeping the hands back down onto the knees. Roll the shoulders back, gazes forward and relaxed. Take a nice 3-part breath. And use the diaphragm to fill the lungs and empty the lungs. And thank you very much for joining this session. I hope that you found that helpful, and be sure to add that to any of your exercise habits that you have, regardless of the time of year. And just keep that body nice and healthy and strong. Namaste. Thank you.